Hi guys, Kaze here. Welcome back. We're back with some more Office Lovers Ryo Kaido. So let's see what happens in this chapter after he was kind of mean, rude, pushy to us. Hopefully everything will go much better, but I kind of don't know how it's going to try considering the chapter name is Bully. So let us get going. Before that, I also want to say I actually did record this beforehand, but then I realized I recorded it without my mic, so yeah. If my reactions are kind of you know what happened. I was like, I've read this again in a short amount of time. I'm rereading it once more, hopefully for everyone to hear. So, anyway, let's get started. Chapter 2, Bully. Today is the staff meeting for the new project I'll be working on. In charge of the development for the Christmas manicure set is Mr. Otori, Mr. Hyoga, Mr. Saijo, Mr. Kaido, Mahiro, Ken, and lastly me. I love how Mahiro and Ken are just Mahiro and Ken instead of Mr. But they're all around our age, so yeah, the others they're older. We must be more respectful. I can't believe a lowly marketing employee like me got the chance to work with such talented people. I still can't wrap my head around it. Excited to start, I arrived 20 minutes early. Mr. Hyoga was there silently organizing materials. Hello, Mr. Hyoga. Are these materials for the meeting today? Yes, actually. There's so much to do. It looks like he's not even done passing things out. Do you need me to help you out? If you could. After you get these files sorted, could you put them at each chair? Sure. As I sorted out the files, Mr. Hyoga began to prepare the projector. It looked like they were going to play the commercial for last year's manicure set. Come to think of it, I brought the files I got on last year's set with me today. They might come in handy. Maybe Mr. Hyoga would be able to use them. But he might just laugh me off as an amateur like Mr. Kaido did. Mr. Hyoga? What? Actually, here. If you like, you can use these files. These are comparative sales figures from last year. You even have the other companies. I thought it might come in handy today, so I brought it. We could probably mix these in with the slides. I'll use them, thanks. Thank you. Oh, good. I'm glad I could help him out. After getting those files copied and adding them to the rest with Mr. Hyoga. Excuse me? He heard a knock on the meeting room door. Oh, Mr. Hyoga, you're already here. Kaido strode through the door. Oh, Kaido, you're 10 minutes early. Still on time to everything, I see. I'm always on time at work. Mr. Kaido's eyes drifted over towards me, still working in the corner. You and Sakiko are getting ready for the meeting. Yeah, she came in a few minutes ago and offered to help out. And she donated all of us reference material for us to use. I don't know if I donated, I just wanted to help is all. Mr. Kaido looked absolutely no notice of my comment and picked up the papers. These are them? Yeah, hers are at the bottom. In a comparative sales figure from other brands, it's perfect for the presentation today. Okay, I'm gonna head back to my desk. I'll leave the rest to you. Okay, I got it from here. Just me and Mr. Kaido? Talk about uncomfortable. When Mr. Hyoga left the room, fell silent, I started to get restless. Those files were for personal use. I'm sorry if they're hard to read. No. After perusing the files for a moment, he looked up at me. Your time in marketing shows. Was that a compliment? Too shocked for words, my mouth hung open and I gave him a dumbfounded expression. What? Oh, it's just that I never thought you would say something like that to me. Who do you think I am? Just because I think you're a sad amateur doesn't mean I can't properly praise you. Oh. Now that I think about it, he did compliment me on it when he helped me pick up the papers. But that first impression was so bad, I had forgotten all about it. Thank you very much. When I lowered my head, he dropped into a moody silence. Mr. Kaido? Sakiko, you... Good day, everyone. Just before Mr. Kaido could get another word in, a smiling Mahiro bounded in. What the... Mr. Kaido and Sakiko, you're here already? Yeah. And here I was thinking I was going to be first. Mahiro's charm instantly cut the tension in the room. You're not even close to being first. Mr. Hyoga was here just a moment ago. boss gotta jump on you too, huh? We need to step up our game. Oh, are these those reports you made, Sakiko? Let me help you pass them out. Thanks. This file's okay to be distributed, but these aren't. Oh my gosh, Mr. Kaido, I'm sorry. You were about to say something, right? He was in the middle of saying something. Despite my apology, Mr. Kaido looked at me like he had lost interest. He turned away from me. It was nothing. The meeting's about to start. Pass those out before they get here. Oh, you're right. It starts in another 5. With Mahiro helping, we pass out the packets of files. And that concludes this week's staff meeting. Next week, we'll be showing off the product draft, so everyone, plan accordingly. Right. The meeting really flew by. Everyone began to exit the meeting room. Oh, wait behind a second, Sakiko. Yes? As I tried to leave the room with the others, Mr. Hyoga stopped me. Mr. Otori had another meeting today, so he couldn't come, but he had a message for you. What is it? It's about who you're going to be partnered with. Oh, right. With his absence, I thought the announcement would be pushed back until next week. Who's it going to be? I'm sure you can pretty much already guess, but it's just as you were hoping for. You'll be with Kaido. With Mr. Kaido? Mr. Otori's face immediately came to mind. Why do I feel like this was his plan all along? We already informed Kaido, and you two start working together today. Okay. After a staff meeting, we had a meeting to decide the direction of the product. He liked my materials today, but after yesterday, things still might be awkward. But Mr. Kaido must have given them the okay. I just gotta do my best. But didn't he say he didn't want to work with me? Must have changed his mind. First, let's deal with the polish color. Any ideas? Yes, actually. No, I can't. I can't start thinking that. He can't trust me yet. If I say something silly, he'll just call me a pathetic amateur again. I have to make Mr. Kaido trust me. I can prove myself to him with this project. I think red would be a good choice. Hearing my suggestion, Mr. Kaido looked up from the materials and narrowed his eyes at me. Red? And why exactly? Because it's a trend this year. Women's intuition. That's barely credible. Women's intuition. Okay. Because it's a trend this year. There's proof. I see. Seeming convinced, Mr. Kaido gave me a curt nod. Red, huh? It is trending this year. What kind of red exactly? Well, I hadn't thought that far ahead. So that's it. That's the opinion you can offer to this company. I'm sorry, what? You came off as such an amateur at first, and here I thought you might have something to say. But betting the company's money on an important decision like this, based on a reason as faulty as that? And just a simple red. There are a ton of reds out there, and no plan to back it up. Did you really hope to be part of the planning department? I'm shocked to hear that. Mr. Kakituda hurled insults at me from across the table. But consumers love in-style colors. The data even proves that. You're relying too much on that data. Because you're still an amateur. In a state of shock from his words, papers I have been gripping, I slipped from my fingers. You're happy with just to be in the marketing department forever. I'm listening to your opinion because you're on the planning team now. His eyes shot daggers through me. Unable to deny any of his words, I dropped my gaze to the floor. If you think red is good, then that's fine. But because it's a trend, it's going to be the same as every other product out there. Really think about it. Christmas is a special time for women. Do you think they want to buy some cheap junk for such a special day? Or maybe you really don't get it. You haven't had a man in years, have you? You don't even know what Christmas means. What? Oh, and can you prove me wrong with all your precious data? Well, no. I hate to admit it, but he's right. Every brand will put out their best work for Christmas. How can our products ever stand out among the sea of red? I was specifically picked to work on this project. Will it really all end just because he was being mean to me? I'm going to ask you one more time. What color do you think would be good? Look at his eyes. He's scaring me. Red is too obvious. I can't use that. But then what should it be? Should I suggest another color? No, colors that are on trend sell better. Attempting to change the color is too big of a risk. What should I say? Nothing's coming to mind. I continue to twitch my face. returning Mr. Kaido's cold stare. We're done here. After that remark, he collected the papers and stood. Mr. Kaido, please! Just give me a little more time. You're not going to magically fix it. Being here is a waste of time. I'll give you until tomorrow. Give me something I can work with. But even if I had until tomorrow, what should I do? Ask for advice. Stay quiet and watch me. Ask for advice. Wait, could you please give me some advice? Before I knew it, I was screaming for him to stay. Fine. Now, what's bothering you? If the product's the same color as everything else, it'll be dull. But I really don't think we can go off trend with the color. If red won't work, then what do you think it should be? I'd like some advice. He twisted his mouth into an audacious smile. Let me think. After a moment or two in thought, he came over to me. Mr. Kaido? Is he smiling? What happened? His smiling face was making me uncomfortable, and I began to back away. Don't run away. What? He suddenly grabbed my arm and dragged me into a corner. Hey, get off me. No. What? What are you going to do about it? I noticed a strange smile spreading on his lips, and I felt anger swell through me. It was the same face as before. What awful things is he going to say now? I'm not going to play your games. So please, just get out of my way already. I'll scream for help if you don't. You should really know when to give up. He gave a heavy sigh and yanked my arm. And pulled me into his arms and pressed me against his chest. What the... Why on earth was Mr. Kaido holding me like this? I twisted my body beneath his arms just when I was about to break free. You're not going anywhere. What? He looked so thin and frail, but his body was rock solid. No matter how much I struggle, I can't get out of his hold. And the more I struggle, the more I can smell his sweet cologne. It's like it's draining my energy. Why? Why is this happening to me? All he's done is force me against the wall and is stubbornly holding on to me. That's right. Be a good girl. Just relax in my arms. His whispers were mixed with the sweetest breath, and his lips grazed my skin. My body quickly began to heat up. The meeting room is reserved until noon, right? No one's going to come by. We'll be alone. Just the two of us. No one to bother us. Please, let me go. I shook with pleasure as I felt his hot breath hit my lips. He smiled. You're blushing, and the way your beautiful white skin is flushing. He cut himself off and brought his lips to my ear and whispered, It's like you're inviting me for more. His hot, damp breath tickled my ears and my body responded. His hand slid silently into the pocket of my suit. What? My eyes fluttered open, and before me stood a very confused, blinking girl. Mr. Kaido, what is this mirror doing here? Look closely. Here's your answer. I color in your cheeks right now. That's the color I was thinking for this year's product. What color of my cheeks? Looking at myself, still wrapped in his arms, I noticed a slight tinge of color on me. You're bright red. Looks like you don't need any rouge. After making his point, he tossed me off of him. Was he doing all that on purpose, teasing me and laughing at me? Mr. Kaido? What? You look flustered. Oh, don't tell me you thought I was serious. Why would I ever bother with someone like you? First, it was Mr. Otori, and now me. You're totally ignorant when it comes to men, aren't you? It's like you're the poster child for dense, slow-witted girls. Looking at that sarcastic grin, my eyes became red. I said it before, you have no right to comment about my makeup like that. After screaming that, the smile fell from his face and he grew serious. If that's what you think, then you'll never be anything more than just an amateur. What? We're wasting our time. He turned away again and strode toward the door. Wait, you said before that you didn't want to babysit me, right? So then why did you decide to be a partner with me? I think that's my line. Why did you accept a job offer? Well, I can't tell him it's because I didn't want to lose to someone like him. Jeez. And with that mumble, he turned and left the meeting room. It's confusing. Does he like me or not? That afternoon, heading back to the office after buying lunch, I bumped into Mahiro. Oh, hey there, Sakiko. Heading out to eat now? No, I was just thinking of having a working lunch and just eating some bread at my desk. Bread? That's it? You can't just eat bread. You have to get a well-balanced meal. I was about to go get some lunch. You should come along. I don't know. I have to think about the plan for our new project. I'm not taking no for an answer. A smart woman knows how to separate work and rest. Plus, I don't think a good idea is going to pop in your head when you work like that. Right, so it's decided. I'm taking you to my favorite place. Hey, Mahiro! Mahiro and I sat at the terrace in a cafe facing one another. The meeting earlier made me really upset. Lunch with Mahiro made me feel better. So you're undecided about that color, huh? Yeah. Wanted to hear his opinion. I told him all about the meeting with Mr. Kaido, but I left that last rather uncomfortable portion out. Red would never work, but he's just a red. I really don't understand. Well, I can actually understand where Mr. Kaido's coming from. What? Why? It's not just red. It's more like, how can I say this? Interesting or exciting color. As he said that, he reached over and poked my cheeks. It's the color you want to put on. It's an enchanting, glamorous color. It's not just any old red. There'd be no fun in that. Red isn't interesting enough on its own. It's not that. It's just, I don't really know how to explain it. Sorry. No, I'm sorry for asking all of these questions. His fingers had kind of tickled my cheek, so I scratched it. Really took his hands back. I feel like I'm starting to understand what he was talking about. Thanks for listening. I feel a lot better. Glad to hear it. Your problems are my problems, okay? Feel free to talk to me anytime. Thanks, I will. Oh, and if Mr. Kaido was easy to talk to as you, Mahiro, this job would be so easy. Mr. Kaido, huh? After that mumble, Mahiro stared at me from across the table. Your partner's Mr. Kaido, right? Yeah. He's attractive, nice, popular with girls, and yet you're still having problems with him. How about you talk to Mr. Otori or Mr. Hyoga and tell them you want to change partners? If I know, I respect Mr. Kaido. I respect him. Sure, I'm getting a little flustered at times, but he said so many horrible things to me, but the last meeting we had really taught me a lot. He's even pushed his own feelings about me aside and has complimented my work before. Well, I respect Mr. Kaido a lot, actually. Thank you for your concern. You're a nice guy, Mahiro. When I smiled at him, Mahiro's shining eyes turned to slits. Beside of me, it's reserved for you, Sakiko. Now stop flirting. Your charms don't work on me. What? No, I wasn't. And seeing me laugh at his panic, Mahiro smiled back at me, relieved. You're smiling again. Good. If something comes up, you can tell me, okay? Okay, I will. Oh crap, I gotta get back. My superiors are gonna kill me. Really? But don't we still have some time left before we have to be back? Yeah, but today is crazy busy. I was planning on bringing food back to my desk, but then I ran into you, so I changed my mind. I figured lunch might be more fun with you. But I'm sure there are people who haven't eaten yet, so I gotta hurry back. Oh, I'm sorry I've kept you. No, don't worry about it. I wanted to talk with you. We may be in different departments, but we all work on this project together. We should be sharing ideas more. It'll be good for us. Yeah, you're right. We should have lunch again when we have time. Yeah, oh. And we started getting along so well. No romance with this project, remember? What? That was random. Think about it. That was definitely Mr. Otori taking some serious precautions. After our fun lunch break, we returned to the office. That was random. It's like, okay, I didn't have that flow going. Back at the office, I found Mr. Kaido still working at his desk, staring at the computer. When I left for lunch, Mr. Kaido was still working. I wonder if he's taken his lunch yet. Oh, that's right. I forgot about this bread that I bought. I ended up eating with Mahiro, so I never got around to it. I debated on whether or not to give it to him, but he was called away by someone. Well, if he's ready eating, then he can have it when he stays late tonight. I grabbed a pen and began to write. I thought you might want this. What should I write next? I'll let you down tomorrow. Feel free to have it if you like. I won't let you down tomorrow. I wrote my declaration and put it down on his desk next to the bread. Now I should get back to work before someone starts yelling at me again. I returned to my seat and started to work again. It's a very interesting time when he's trying to show you the color he likes, the project, by pinning you into a wall and not letting you go. And trying to entice you just to get that blush to creep up. Oh gosh. Anyway, let me know what you guys thought in the comments below, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Until then, bye. Kaze out.